Alright, today I have a ton of stuff to go through. I've been kind of lax on the videos here, but it's kind of difficult to get them uploaded. They just take so long. But I wanted to show you things that came in the mail, things I picked up at the thrift store. I don't have everything, but I do have a few things here. First thing I picked up was some DS games. And it's like, oh wow, DS games. Well, these cost me something ridiculous like barely 15 cents. I don't know if you'll be able to see them well enough with this bright computer screen in the background. I might have to close that up here, but anyway, these games, unfortunately, they don't sell. So how good we'll miss them, I don't know, but they technically wouldn't sell, but they would sell if you loaded them with something else, which I don't have. Crossword seems to be something that sells for like, I say sells, but I've seen it, you know, $2 and doesn't go because of shipping, and a Brain Age 2 and this one here I think is closer to $2 here. I don't remember what game that was. Some sort of detective sleuthing type of game, a million something or other. I don't really know what that is, but anyway, I picked them up because I do have a DS, but I cannot remember if that's the machine that's missing the cord or whatever. And then again, it cost me very little. If I was able to sell these at $1 a piece, which probably I would be able to do, they would eventually sell. So I could get $3, you know, to pay for my 15-cent purchase or something stupid like that. Then we got some postcards here, and these came from the bins a couple nights ago. It was a Wednesday, and this one here is Country Club Motor Inn of the fabulous Martha Lee Restaurant and the Purple Sage Room. This one's postmarked 1966 with some stuff on the back of it, but there's old station wagon there. Very cool, that one, to have that. I think I have 2 of those. So they were sent out to the same person, or the same address, but to different people at the same address, and almost the identical message there. So that's kind of weird there. There's a sign for it there, kind of. It's really hard to see that there. And then we've got one, unfortunately, that got folded in half, of Chicago. Well, actually, this one's not folded in half. This is dated 1966. Somebody had this in their booth for $4. Number 52 wanted $4 for this postcard. I don't understand why they wanted $4. I know they had to pay for their booth, but this is something that I couldn't even get 50 cents for. So 50 cents to $4, nobody bought that. And then this is the one that got unfortunate, folded in half there. Folded in half because they probably folded it in an envelope like this or something like that, and that's why they only wanted $2. Booth number 52, or vendor number 52, wanted that. Sadly, it's ruined, and I don't think I'd be able to run that through the mail because it's so compromised. Maybe I can wick some glue in there, and then that might strengthen that up a little bit, and I can send that. But this would cost me not whatever a postcard costs, because that's oversized postcard, so that would jip me on that one. This one, also from, well, actually this one says number 51, so I don't know what was going on there. Number 51 had this. Unfortunately, there's a huge, ginormous crease right there, which kills the value. So I would be lucky to get $1 for this one here. But this one says, "Our Sheep Pens, Union, Oregon, 1945," and somebody thought they could get $10 out of this postcard here, and they cannot. You cannot get $10 out of the postcard. I know it's sheep pens, but still, that's, you know, nothing. And then it's just one of these old, you know, 1940s era postcards is what that was. So, whatever. Too bad, so sad. But anyway, I'm probably like 10 or 15 cents into these postcards, so that's what I want to be at there. Then I got an entire roll of stickers. I've already used some of these here. So I'm guessing there's about 500 stickers in this roll. Somewhere between 500 and 1,000. I haven't counted exactly, but I got a bunch of vintage Got Milk stickers. I think they finished that up in 2015, so there's that one there. Oh, I just was researching some galley carts. I already have one, but the cheapest ones I could find are $232.50 plus $80 for shipping or whatever it was, $85 for shipping. I zoom in on here. These are, again, the half-size galley carts. You are not going to really want one of those large ones unless you really have a lot of room for it. And if you want to carry it up a stairs, try to get one of these things carried up a stairs is needing a lot of people and help. So you want to make sure if you buy one of these, make sure you can get it to where you want it. And these are heavy enough. Because I had to carry one up here. So the half-size galley carts are what you want. Otherwise, you're getting closer to $500 to $1,000+, and that's before you hit the shipping. These ones just have random, listings, so you don't know what airlines these came off of, and maybe the airline tags have been removed. These might have been just general service It might have been used on airlines, cargo planes, or maybe just on the ground somewhere and never on an airline. Don't really know where they have gotten to, but all-purpose general carts there, and there's 10 available, so if anybody really cares. This seller looks like a good seller. They've got some other airline stuff, and I can't remember how I found this particular Wild Bird. They might have had some airline training cards, I don't remember, and that will be my next thing here. I purchased some trading cards through Alaska Airlines, so those shall be coming very, very quickly here. I saw the Pilot Card Guys video. Gary was doing that part of the segment of it, and he said that the shipping seemed to be quite high for the Alaska website, but I was able to change it in the cart there. So it was at 15 bucks or so, and then it went back down to 10 because I bought 2 items. I wasn't going to spend a whopping $3.50 in trading cards, so you can do your homework on that. I'd rather buy it directly from Alaska than some eBay flipper, so that's what I did. And then we've got a bunch of envelopes that came in, and hopefully I have all of them here. Byron has been sending a bunch of stuff in smaller envelopes here, so they keep arriving in different sections here. I can't remember if I showed these, and I got another one today, which I thought I had set here, and I just don't see it in the pile. Oh, here. No, that's the envelope, but that's not the cards. Anyway, we'll get that in another video here. I'll try to get everything. I try to get everything all done at once, but it's not working right here. Where they went to, it should have been, like I said, with all this stuff here. Maybe when I moved my laptop, they got pushed back this way. But this time it's Power Rangers cards. The last one that just came in today was some more Lorcana cards. I have sent, and spoiler alert, I have used some of those Got Milk stamps or stickers on the envelope there. So this one here is a foil card. I don't remember the foil cards at all. That is one thing I don't remember when I had some of these. But I had many of these back in the day. I think the only really ones I wanted was Amy Jo Johnson, if that makes sense there. But again, you won't be able to see that. Let's just do this here and see if that will help a little bit here. That helps a lot. That helps an absolute ton. So there's that one in a penny sleeve there. And so there's that one. And then just a random assortment of different events going on there. These kind of scenes. I like the more standalone cards. This is more of a standalone scene here. Will I put the set together? It just depends on if my LCS, because they have vintage packs. If they have Power Rangers, I might see if I can grab a few of them. But it looks like they are over 100 cards in the set here, and so I'm looking like about 12 maybe, if I'm doing my math right, which I'm not. And I forget who character is. Power Rangers, unfortunately, was one of those, I say unfortunately, but was one of those things I was right on the edge of being too old for. I mean, you know what's funny is that the people that were in Power Rangers are older than me. So, you know, Amy Jo Johnson's like in her mid-50s or something crazy like that. But, you know, never mind that one there. I don't know what that is. Again, it's been so crazy long there. Some sort of, you know, saber-toothed tiger type of thing. That's what, yeah, it is a saber-toothed tiger, so that's kind of a fun one there. Yikes. I don't want to meet that in a dark alley. And then there's an iconic shot there. And then we got one of the Rangers here again. This Blue Ranger. Ah, crud. Billy the creative and clever Blue Ranger. I was right, Blue Ranger. So there's a Blue Ranger, obviously, because he's wearing blue. And then there's like the space shuttle with the moon, or the Earth, and the... I don't know exactly what's going on there. I've forgotten already. And then last but not least, oh, what is this guy? Quagmire. No, not Quagmire. The Quagmire, the Power Rangers, something Rita's... Oh, I don't know what's going on here. But yeah, so not sure who that is there. I should know, but and again, it's been so long that I was, like I said, it was kind of out of sight, out of mind. It was a big deal, and I was like, whatever, you know. I kind of got a little bit into it, but it got kind of a little tedious after a while when people were just kind of but this came in here from Denver, Colorado. This is a card that came in not super long ago. I don't have access to vintage cards easily, affordable, or very often, so I purchased this on eBay for around $1.25, Don Tossig. And people were getting him autographed. He did not answer any of my questions, but he gave me my letter back. And I just said I was really happy to get this card, building a set here, and I explained my plight and the reasoning why I was doing this and all the fun stuff there. So he just has since autographed it, not said anything or done anything. So there's that one there. And then that one came in today, yesterday. And then this one came from suburban Illinois. And I don't send very many of these because I don't have very many of these. But I got Alyssa Nair. So on one of the few cards you can still get autographed on the Parkside from 2021 or whatever it is. I know it's only like 4 or 5 years ago, but almost every single person has retired. Almost every single one. And they have gone back into private life, and I cannot find them on any of the forums because nobody cares right now. They're like, we just want the current players. We don't want the retired players. They're not doing anything now. And then we have another one here for the U.S. Again, I don't know where or how I got that card, but I have had that for quite a while. And I said, you know what, let's get that one autographed there. So really cool to have both of those signed there. And I knew I had, once I found this card, I said, I know I have this card. I've seen this card and found it in my soccer binder. So these will probably go into the NWSL binder or whatever. Again, I'm pretty much done with that. I've got most of the cards for the Series 2. I'm not going to do Series 1. I just kind of did that as a test here. These were some of the ugliest cards. Oh my gosh. But they're great for autographs. But man, they're just hideous. The color scheming and everything on that one there. So like I said, that's what's going on. The swap meet is this weekend. And I've got several goals for the swap meet. Now, hopefully my friends will be there. If for some reason they're not there and I drove all the way out there, I tried to basically message my friend Chris and Zachary and to see what they're doing. I haven't heard back from them. Maybe they didn't see my email, but more than likely they will be there. If I'd heard otherwise, they would have probably told me if they weren't going to be there. I will be there Sunday, and my goal is to see if the 45 vendor is still there. Because that's really all I want to do is go to the 45 vendor and dig through the 45s. If they're there and Chris and Zachary are not there, I will have a nice hour or two to kind of paw through those and see if I can find anything. But it would be nice to, make a couple extra dollars. I have made sure that I got plenty of change for the event. Because nobody brings any change, and they only have ATMs with 20 bucks. It's like, do you have change? And we start laughing at these people, and then we're like scrambling around and going through other people that need change. So last time I brought change, it was very handy. But you have to make change for other people. You start to end up being a little bit on the short side of cash. That's what happens. You're like, regardless if they give you the correct amount, somebody might end up, and you don't know the exact deal, and then you're going through 3 different people, and then they get the money, and somehow you end up owing people, or they end up owing you is what happens, and it's like, this is crazy. I'll give you $5 when I have it, and sort of thing. And things get forgotten, and you're like, oh man, I thought I made more money today, and you did. But it's, again, that's why you want to kind of bring your own change and not rely on other people. I mean, people forget, they think they could buy everything with credit card. I deal with that on a daily basis, but a monthly basis. People's like, oh, I forgot payment. Do you take credit card? And it's like, yes, I do. So that's what happens. That's what everybody says there. But I don't do, whatever that thing is. I don't do Venmo. I don't do Venmo and that kind of fun stuff there. So it should be an okay event, hopefully. And I bring enough to hopefully make some money back and then pay for my afternoon there, and then come back with a few extra dollars I can kind of do stuff with there. Eventually it'll get better, the dollar amount there, but sometimes you're just a little slower than the others. So that's not why you haven't been seeing stuff from me, because the shipping is already going up. But the post office says it won't be until like the 7th or so that I can't remember what the date was. So I've been kind of sometimes over-posting a few envelopes, but I don't know when they're going to come back, you know what I mean? These envelopes could come 5 months from now and I could be postage due type of thing. So that's why I've been doing that, and that's pretty much all I have there. If I go any further, this video is just going to basically take 5 hours to upload. So I want to get that done. I might do a separate video on my cabinet, my airline cabinet. I've done one of those before, but I want to do a fresh video about it. And hope everybody has a great 4th, and thank you for watching.